Howdy y'all, today is May 30th. I'm over at the small farm property, which is also known as my grandma's backyard. So she was an avid gardener. This was one of her big flower beds. There's one up there. She was always making spots all over the yard. The woods have kind of creeped in a little bit, but as a kid, me and the cousins, we'd always be back in the woods building forts and having fun out there. But yeah, for those that have just started joining along on the journey, my first chicken coop I built right here, and the second one I built back here. I still have a beehive. I haven't looked at it, so I was gonna check and see. Last year a swarm did move in, but they didn't make it through the winter, so I just want to see if there's still anything going on. But swarm season will go through June, peak May, June. I don't see anything right now, but I need to still kind of clean some stuff up out here. But yeah, a lot of memories out here. It's hard being over here because the house is over on my right, and my grandma was always in there. Whenever I would leave or come, I'd give her a big wave, smile, jump up and down, do something goofy, but feels a lot different. I just ran out of gas, so we're abandoning the mower for a minute. I'll get it put up here in a little while, but chores are done. I had a cousin stop by with a friend, which is pretty neat, so I gave him the tour. My cousin's been here. He was one that actually helped out with the farm while I was gone on vacation there for a couple weeks. So anyways, there's not a whole lot of time left in the day. I did wash eggs earlier this morning and took them to the grocery store, and now I don't know what time it is, but sun's still up decently, so probably do some work in the garden. I have pretty much all the tomatoes planted that I want to get planted, minus that one and that one. I have a couple smaller ones. They're junk. This one right here is actually not half bad. It's just a little too tiny for what I want. Over here in all these water bottles, I have cut off some parts of my tomato plants that are doing really well and cloning them. So basically you just cut a stem off, put it in water, and it'll start to grow roots. So this one, see all those white shoots? Those are roots. So this one is really close to being ready to plant, which is pretty cool. It's actually a lot going on there. And I can't remember when I did this. It was only a couple days ago, so not too long. I have about 15 spaces where I can plant more tomatoes because my seeds just didn't come up, or the plant got knocked over and died. I have a lot of pots that just look like that. So I have, minus the two that I'm going to plant all the tomatoes in at this point. I'm going to focus on the rest of the garden, getting peppers, squash, a million other things in the garden going first. And then I'm going to finally come back. Last thing I'm going to do is come back to tomato row. If these are looking good and off to a good start, I'll go ahead and plant them. If they're still a little too small for my liking, I'm going to abandon it, probably go buy some bigger tomatoes or plant something else in the tomato row completely, and then use these and sell them or give them away to family. Just have to wait and see how things are working out. Also, I grabbed my last roll of weed cloth. I think it was 330 feet. So 300 feet, 4 foot wide. So this will finish out everything you need. The wind died down enough to the point where I could spread a straw bale, so I got that done. Right now I'm rescuing the mower here, and then we'll get this put up for the night. One feature I really wish this mower had would be a gas gauge. It's just guess and check. You gotta lift the seat up and kind of shake it, or bend down and see if you can see the gas line. Howdy y'all, today is May 31st. I have a lot of work yet to do in the garden, so that's gonna be the focus of today. However, I am gonna go ahead and crack open the two small hives there, make sure they're good on space and they have a queen that's laying eggs in both of those. If those are looking good, probably add another box on if needed. And then later in the day, I'd like to get into the two larger hives just to make sure that, once again, there's a queen in there laying eggs. But other than that, it's going to be main focus on the garden. my goal was to have everything in here planted by the end of May, which is today. Realistically, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it could happen. So I still have my peppers, squash to get in. I still have the beans to get in. These 2 rows are good. This row over here is cucumber. Y'all can't see. Cucumber. I still have all the leafy greens. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that just yet because it's so late in the season. I need to replant the sugar snap peas, once again, also really late in the season, so I don't know. But yeah, there's still a lot to do, but I have gotten a lot done, so we'll see. I've also heard planting things like pumpkins and squash later in the season helps offset that first initial pest load with the squash bugs and vine borers. Y'all know I had issues with those last year. It's all I complained about, I feel like, in the garden. So I might go ahead and plant some now, just butternut squash, not pumpkins. Because I did do them my very first year here, and they were fine. I only did maybe 4 plants, and they didn't get attacked. But I also might go ahead and wait until later in the season to plant them. But the dilemma I have with anything later in the season is the farmer's market for the garden is the main income for it. I've started to, build a little community out here, which is nice, but I mean, garden produce sells like crazy at the farmer's market. So that's primarily what the garden's for. So planting later in the season, the farmer's market season is really short. It only goes through August. All of September is still really productive in the garden. So anything that's planted later in the season, I have to really only sell out here. The grocery store did have some interest in some things, so I have got that. But yeah, the bulk of everything in the garden needs to be going up, ready, and harvested, July and August. Just as the nasturtium was starting to come up, there's probably the best looking one. We got all that rain, so they basically all drowned. I replanted a few of them, kind of hoping some snap out, but some are just gonna die. Same with these peas here. That's why I didn't do very many of them. It's only a 16-foot patch of them. I've never had much luck with them, and also they were sitting underwater, so I'm sure that they're all rotted in there. On the broccoli here, it's doing really good. There's not really much, bug pressure. I've seen a few little holes get chewed, but nothing crazy. They are definitely outgrowing their little cages, so I need to figure something out. I'd like to invest in some hoops and then shade cloth and insect netting, and even some for frost protection, but it's definitely an investment. Over here I did see a cantaloupe starting to come up. Can't remember where it was, but I did see one, so that's encouraging. Because we did get all the rain, a lot of the mulch and stuff washed in here and covered them up, so I was trying to unbury where I planted them a little bit so they had a fighting chance, but hopefully we'll see some more coming up in this row pretty soon. We'll check this hive out here first, which is the one that decided to swarm right underneath the original colony here. I'm going to be checking to see how they're doing on space and checking to make sure I actually see eggs in there. If they need more space, I do have a box ready. I have some blank frames, so nothing started on them yet. And I also have some nice frames that are already built out, and that one even has some pollen in there, so they'll like that. Bad news for this hive. There's maybe a frame and a half of bees in here, really only on these 2. No eggs, no queen. They're just hanging out doing their thing. They're not gonna last much longer. So I'm just gonna put the top on them, check these guys. Unfortunately, bad news for these guys too. This one actually kind of surprises me. This was the horseradish swarm. They all filed into that hive really nice. So it seemed there was a queen in there. I never did actually see the queen, but yeah, there's a solid frame of bees, and it's actually getting heavy with honey. They're doing something. These guys over here have kind of just given up on life. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on here. Current plan is to go ahead and combine those 2 small little hives there. I'll put some sugar water on top just to hopefully help with any fighting. I'm not gonna bother with the newspaper and all that other stuff. There's a lot of different methods you can use. But because they're both queenless, there's no laying workers, I think we'll be fine. And then I'll check the other hives. Surely there'll be some eggs in there. I'm assuming there will be, and I can pop a frame over and we'll get that third hive going, but I still do need to check and make sure the other two hives are doing good. But for right now, I'm gonna run and get some sugar. Good news is I did find the queen in there. It's actually the second frame I pulled out, so that was nice. So I saw her, she looked beautiful, but I didn't really see many eggs. She was in that white box. She could have been busy down there and just moved up. So I didn't take any frames out of there. The frame she was on had some eggs, but nothing else in that box did have eggs. No capped over brood or anything just yet, so I left them alone. It's been about 5 minutes. I was letting them chill. So I'm gonna crack this one open, see what it looks like. Got lucky in this hive too. The second frame I pulled out, the queen was on. She was hanging out in this box. She had eggs on other frames she was not on, so I was able to pull one. I shook off about half of the bees. I still wanted some bees to go over in the new hive, but we'll go ahead and add those to one of these smaller hives. Back with the sugar, I have 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of water. We'll give this a mix, probably warm it up to help it dissolve a little bit. Once it cools, then we'll pop it in the feeder, give it to the bees. These bees were the ones living in the hive. This is the new frame I added. I'm going to take out these 2 frames over here. I think there's about 2 frames in that hive. Put them over here. So I just added these 2 frames from this hive. There's a couple bees on either side. Not bad. So I'll shake them over here. This one's been in the hive. New frame, couple blanks, current hive. So I gave them all a little bit of space, but hopefully there won't be any fighting. I'll go ahead and close them up. And since there's a lot going on in this hive, I will go ahead and put some sugar water in there. That'll help keep them going while they're all a little confused on what the heck is going on. And also, because they are tiny, it'll just help them out. Just because there are some foragers coming in and out throughout the day, I'm gonna leave this hive here, but just put 1 frame in. So tonight they'll congregate on that. I'll open this one back out, shake them off in there, or just put the frame in there depending on how many bees are hanging out. And then that move should be pretty good by that point. I feel really good about what I did with the hives there. I have 2 really strong hives still. Both have queens, both are laying eggs, which is fantastic. The smaller one right there, they nearly have a full honey super. And this one here, they haven't really touched the honey super just yet, but that whole top deep there, the bigger box, full of honey. So that's great to see. Hopefully, combining everybody between the 2 small hives and adding a frame of eggs, they'll be good. There won't be a lot of fighting. Generally, when there's no queen involved, they're not going to fight. I did even swap lids on the hives just because the scents, bees are kind of finicky about it. So that should hopefully help that. But anyway, with those eggs, that hive is now going to be able to raise a queen. Basically, they just feed the larva differently and you get a queen out of it. So there's a good chunk of eggs in there. They'll actually make a few. 1 queen will survive. They'll fight to the death, go off, have a mating flight, come back, then start laying eggs. So that's going to take quite some time, but at least the process has started. I'm not expecting anything from that hive this year in terms of honey. Right now it's just basically getting them built up and strong for the winter. So that feeder on there will help them as well. Nearly 2 hours later and I still haven't gotten anything done in the garden. So I'm gonna work for maybe another hour or so, take off, hang out with some family, come back, chores, and continue to work on the garden. I hung out with the family for a few hours, which was really nice. Now I'm going to work on this row. I did run the tiller up and down once. This is the one where I had popcorn in, so I really just wanted to get those stalks flattened out. And then that black weed cloth will kill the rest of the weeds under there, so I'm not too worried about that. I do want to check on the bees and see how they're doing. On these tomatoes that are drowning, I pulled the straw away, really just trying to dry them out. There's not a lot I can do, but hopefully they'll snap out of it. It's a little hard to see in there, but I'm not seeing a bunch of dead bees on the bottom board or on the outside or anything, so I'm not too worried about them. Actually, someone just brought in some pollen, so at least they're still doing some work. There are a few bees going in and out of this one. Like I said, that one has one frame. I'll shake them over later. So I replanted a full pack of sugar snap peas. There's a little bit of leftover room here. I might plant something fun. But if those don't come up, I don't know. I just can't grow sugar snaps. But hopefully they will. I'll give them some water. It's late in the season for them. But at this point, I just want to see if I can even get something to come up. This row is slowly beginning to come together. I have about half of it done. So I have one straw bale down at this point, just stretching that weed cloth, making sure it covers. And since I didn't really till it that great, I just want to make sure everything dies underneath there, and plastic weed cloth does a really good job of that. So I'm not planning on planting this row within the next day or two, but I do want to water this straw down just in case we get some rain or wind or something and it wants to blow it away. So hopefully getting some water on it will help hold it down. My mom's working on her first row of tomatoes, so she's got maybe half a row in at this point. That straw row there, I've at least got the weed cloth all tacked down. This will be the last big project I think there, but it's getting late enough that all the bees should have returned home. So I'm going to see who all's left in that tiny little hive far north side and move them over. That was not a graceful transition at all. I wound up spilling some of that sugar water. The bees in this hive were all mingled together though, which is good. So they're all grouped up in the center. There were a few bees. I mean, there's a good handful still in that hive. So I shook them out. They were mostly hanging on the top lid, some on this frame. So I shook them all out. And hopefully they'll all start going in. It looks like everybody is kind of flying that way. I might try and shake these guys out, but you can see what they're doing. They're fanning their scent out so everybody can find their way back home. It's probably a good time to shake these guys out before it gets too dark. I do need to get some more sugar water in that now. I was able to get off 6 of the leg bands. There's still 3 chicks that have them on, according to the math at least. I didn't see them, but I'm sure they're in there. So had I known that they were banded, I would have taken them off right when I got them and took them out of the box, but I didn't realize that till later. So I'll look for the others tomorrow night. Howdy, y'all. Today is June 1st. I cannot believe it's already June and the garden is still not done. But you know, everything that's been going on, I'm happy I am as far as I am. I'm just gonna do a quick garden walk, see how things are looking, and then get on it. There is so much to do before Saturday. The farmer's market starts this weekend. Not just on the farm, but there's some office work that I have to do to get ready for that. A couple things. It's gonna take some time, but just gonna focus on the garden, put one foot in front of the other, and just get things going. I think the first goal for today is going to be to get some of these peppers out, basically clear everything out of here that I can. I did go ahead and pre-plant those cucumbers last week. We have one coming up, so I'll probably hold off a little longer until I see those coming up and then transplant those out. But the peppers are looking really good and they really need to get out. We're starting to see a lot of buds, a lot of peppers, a lot of good stuff. It actually started raining just a little bit. Looks like it's actually kind of set in. It's just gray, cloudy. It's not a hard rain. That's actually kind of nice, but also don't really need it. So I'm gonna call it good on the garden for now. I'm just closing up the net on the chickens since I moved them early. I always leave it open just to make sure everybody finds their way back in. My chickens do not like the rain. They always run in really quick. Actually, I just noticed this door shut early. I think this is the one I can't read. So I do have a hard time, figuring out. We'll keep the open at whatever it is. That looks right. Close. We're gonna go up an hour. Hopefully, that'll work better. Howdy y'all, today is June 2nd. I'm out doing chores and Miss Leia found a new spot where she's stuck. I'm not sure, she's a friendly chicken, but it is this little slant on the roof there. And maybe, I mean, she's old, so maybe she's kind of struggling to get up. She seems content. Are you stuck? I might go in there just in case. Make sure she can get out, but goofy bird. Honestly, she seems to like it. I scooted her up. She was not trying to get back in the spot or get out of the spot. She's perfectly content. Even being in the sun like that, I know she hasn't been there long. She's not panting and, dying of thirst. So I'll check on her in a couple hours just to make sure she's okay though, but she's content. Rabbit's just been chilling in the sun for the past hour right there. It's a beautiful day. It's a really good feeling not to have much left in this coop. These are a bit of the duds. Some I'm just gonna toss. There's 2 or 3 that have potential, but not in my garden. The cucumber are really starting to pop, so that's nice. I'll transplant those here in a little while. All my tomato shoots I cut off are growing roots really nice. Oregano's coming back, and there's only 5 more pepper plants, so that's nice. I just watered that one. It was looking a little wilty, but tomorrow I need to focus on washing eggs. Hopefully we'll have time to finish those. That'd be a really nice feeling. In the little chirp chirp coop over here, all the plants are out. My mom's been working on all her stuff. I think she has a lot of them pulled out, not in this coop, but the chicks were starting to eat some of her leaves. So they're all out running around in here now, which is nice. There's still a couple with bands on their legs. I think only 2. I see 1, 2, yeah, so they're really easy to do at night, not so much in the daytime, so I'm not gonna bother with that just yet. But eggplant are looking good. Tub method's working good. A couple of the peppers I transplanted yesterday have really big broad leaves. They did not like the sun, so I just tied a feed bag up to get some shade on them. Those are called Gold Fortune. I've never grown them before, but they're a large golden pepper. I'm assuming it's going to be similar to a bell pepper, so I've got all those going. As far as the beans, I have some green beans coming up. All this here is lima beans, which I haven't seen yet. But over in the green bean, well, let's see. There's one that's just starting to come up. There's another one right there. This one's coming up good. I have a bad feeling though, because I do have a lot of rabbits, that something bad is going to happen, but we're going to hope not. The cantaloupe that was coming up over there did get nibbled off, so I'm probably going to have to replant that entire row anyway, because we did get so much rain it flooded it and kind of covered up their little holes pretty heavy. This row's still not planted yet, but I'm planning on doing squash. I want to get all the actual plants going just because they're getting so big. So hopefully finish the peppers up tomorrow. Plant the butternut squash. Cucumbers I'm going to wait until they get just a little bit bigger. These tomatoes that were looking ugly are actually kind of snapping out of it. They're still not great looking, but hopefully better than nothing. I did water that little patch. Everything that had a seed, I did go ahead and just a quick spray with water. So this is the yellow watermelon row. This is the second tomato row. I'm out of T-posts unless I use these sort of T-posts, but they don't work really well for wrapping twine around. So I need to go buy some more. Also, I need more for the bean row anyway. The fence is coming for that maybe the 5th, so we're still a few days out. But this tomato row, I'm torn on what I should do. I think I have 11 spaces, basically where the flags are, where my tomatoes did not come up, or they died, or something happened to them while I was gone, or I just didn't plant enough. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll probably wind up buying tomatoes. I really don't have enough Brandywine to make it worth it at this point, so I have 2, 4, 5. I really like having a minimum of 10 of a plant, so I'll probably buy some from a big store. I'll probably check with friends first, and then go and buy some of those. San Marzano, I have 11 of those. I was going for 15 and 15, but it didn't work out, so those are pretty common ones, but if they're sold out for any reason, I'll probably find some other sort of tomato to put in there. Cucumbers, plant them later. This row here, sorry, it's getting a little windy now, but this was going to be my leafy green row. It's June. It's not going to do very well. Basically anything rooty or leafy that I had intended on planting in here. I do have some onions sprinkled in on the side, but I'm thinking about putting watermelon in there. I might do red watermelon. I really don't like the idea of 3 viney rows. That's why this was originally the leafy row. So it was vine, not vine, vine, not vine, vine. That's kind of how I was doing it, because with 3 vines in a row, it's really gonna get kind of crazy out here. But the broccoli's looking good. Once again, got to get it out of those cages. I did see those white moths trying to land on there. I don't know what's stopping them from still laying their eggs and the little larvae crawling in, but it's some pretty small mesh. I don't know how big their eggs or larvae are, but hopefully they can't get in there. So still a lot to do in the garden, but it's coming along. We've got most of the weeds pulled. My mom's side is looking nice. She's got pretty much all the weeds gone, and I think she just finished her first row today. So she's gonna touch it up with some mulch on her paths here. She's still got to string them, but these are all her favorite tomatoes up front first. Then I think she's gonna focus on her pepper row next. Chickens got loud, so I figured might as well go see what's going on. The little rabbit's still chilling over there. Hopefully it's okay. I do have a lot of rabbits out here. It looks like that one solar door that I can't read is down already. It's 9:08. Check on this rabbit real quick. You all right, little buddy? Yeah, you're fine. Okay. Been hanging out all day. Anyways, back to chickens. She did not want to get down, but I did get her down. So she's on a normal roost bar. She gets back up there tomorrow. I'll know that she just enjoys it. That rabbit finally meandered into the pig paddock there. I did check on the pigs. I last talked to the guy May 7th and he said it'd be a month. So I guess it's not even a month yet. So it'll probably be next week on the pigs, would be my guess, not this week. The bees are a lot less active right now, so I do want to see if they've been eating on the sugar water or not. I think I'm gonna need 2 hands though. Well, that didn't work. So the little blue tub on the inside is stuck to the top of the lid. So when I pulled it up, I actually opened up the hive, which I didn't want to do because I squished a couple bees and that hive doesn't have many bees to sacrifice. So maybe when it's warmer out, I'll get lucky. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one without actually getting in the hive at this point. So that is not very convenient, but yeah, I can't check it or fill it up or anything. Things can never just be easy. This pepper here is perking up a little. This one's still not great, but I think it'll snap out of it. It's not completely burnt to a crisp or anything. I put the beans on this side and the peppers over there on purpose because normally my peppers wind up getting burnt or scalded, the actual peppers themselves. So the beans are going to, once they grow up, provide some shade in the afternoon for those guys. So that bag is basically acting like the beans will here in hopefully a pretty short amount of time. I'll head in here and get the heat lamp turned on for these little guys. It's still too light out. It's a little after 9, but they're still too awake to be able to grab and work on the leg bands. For June, it is pretty chilly. I'm kind of surprised. I think it was 55. I think we're getting in the 50s again tonight, so pretty chilly. In the day, it gets so hot in here. The even week-old chicks do not even care about heat lamps. I'll probably go ahead and turn it on for the other chicks too. They're almost 2 months old, I think. Can't quite remember. But just it is so cold, and why not? Howdy, y'all. Today is June 3rd. It is hot out. I did go buy some more peppers, so I got banana, cayenne, and bell just to kind of fill things out. Getting kind of close to done. You can definitely tell the ones I planted because they're nice and big compared to the ones that I bought, which are still pretty tiny, but it's nice to have a little bit of a variety. Finished up the peppers today, which is a great feeling. They actually go out into the straw there a little bit. It's kind of hard to see from far away. The rest of that row is going to be butternut squash, which I do plan to get planted here soon, today. Other than that, just to the left, that bean row, I have to finish the green beans and then the purple TP green beans, or purple beans technically. I still have to do something with the middle of this tomato row. I looked around for some tomatoes. I didn't see San Marzano, and the brand new one I saw looked really bad, so I didn't bother getting those. So I'll check around, see if I can find more somewhere else. If not, I'll do something different. I might not be finishing that squash row. I thought I had new seeds, but see, these are from 2017, so 9 years old. This one's even better, from 2004. So I'll probably plant them just to get rid of them and do maybe 3 seeds in a hole, but there's not enough seeds in these packs to go anywhere, so I do need to get some more seeds. I'm giving the school project chicks their very first taste of mealworm, beetles, and seeds. See what they think of it. Howdy, yeah. Today is June 5th, so I am gonna drag everything out, set up for farmer's market, make sure everything works, looks good. I haven't gotten this tent out, probably need to tighten some stuff up and wipe off some boards, remark some things, a lot to do. And I think we pretty much have everything set up. The tent, I did have to go around and tighten all these up. I've lost some screws over time, so I had to get those back in working order, but I went around and tightened all of them up because usually these are the first to go. Those are originals. There's another one I replaced, and once one of those goes, you're in trouble. Banner still looks good. I might give it a quick little wash, but this is gonna be, I think, everything that I can think of. I'll have the chicken, the pork. Actually, I have a lot more cuts. I have different picture frames. They're a little bigger, so I need to reprint that. The whole chicken one's still going to be the same. Do get a free tote bag with a $50 purchase. Let's see. Egg bread, obviously not out here yet, but as far as actual produce, that's going to be a little while, so Maybe July into June. We'll see. My tomato plants that I put in water are ready to transplant. They've got a bunch of little root starts going on them. So they are ready to go in the dirt. Pretty much all loaded up for the farmer's market. Now, I do know I have at least one more chicken here that has a red band. Oh, they're all right by the door. I left the heat lamp off on purpose so they would all group up, so probably gonna scare them. But I definitely saw one red leg band still, so it's a big black one. Found the chick, got the little band off. It was definitely no more slack, but it wasn't pushing into his skin, so it was a good time to get it off. I will double check again tomorrow. They kind of got a little crazy. I did see all the doors going down out here and a rooster still running around, so I'm just gonna double check. I did kind of cause a little bit of chaos. There was a rooster just standing on top of a hen, pecking her head a couple times. I mean, it honestly wasn't terrible. He wasn't really hurting her, but he didn't have to be standing on top of her, you know, pecking her like he was. He can stand on her, you know, grip the back of her head and mate her, but not just stand on there and fool around. So I didn't like that, so I got him out of there, and he's actually up in one of the coops. I'm gonna get rid of him. Whether freezer camp or a friend, I don't know. But I do have way too many roosters. There's still some hens that don't even leave the coops because the roosters just drive them crazy. So there'll be more I need to get rid of. But I'm just kind of watching their personalities at this point. Turn the light on. Kind of windy out here. So far, so good. And everyone's up there. All good. Oh, yep. Kellogg and French fry. Did not make it. I thought it saw the red rooster. Let's check over here. Good, good, good. Good, 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 and good. So let me go put them up, and then I'll finish loading up. It's just the coolers. I think that's it. I'll adjust the doors tomorrow night just to make sure everybody has a little more time to get up. And I called that rooster French fry. That was my last Buff Orpington rooster. He passed away, I don't know, it was last year sometime. It was kind of unexpected. So this guy doesn't have a name yet. He's my young Buff Orpington rooster. I actually bought him because I do want to breed my Buff Orpingtons because they were my original flock. So, you know, 50 years from now it'd be kind of cool. I don't want to buy any more Buff Orpingtons. I mean, if I have to buy a rooster every now and then, I guess it's not the end of the world. But, you know, 50 years from now, I see a Buff Orpington running around on the farm, I'll be like, I started that back in October 2021, and that is the same line of chickens coming through. So I just think that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know, he doesn't have a name. Let's go with, how about Henry?